While I absolutely love my Ram 1500, the head unit that came in this model was the small infotainment, and I needed to find something that was bigger and ultimately added more safety features because the smaller head unit did not offer CarPlay or Android Auto. I was able to get the AWESafe Android head unit.
And in the box here, you'll see we have the all-in-one head unit that has the air conditioner knobs cut out, as well as the wiring package here. And everything is pre-wired. You may have to do something a little bit different for your vehicle, but for mine, it worked right out of the box. It has a GPS module as well as a speaker and a microphone. You'll see, yes, it's all in one. So you take the old one out, put this new one in, and it covers up and fits perfectly. All the screw holes are lined up, and you have your connectors right there on the back for everything you may need. Now, as far as install went, it was pretty straightforward. So there's two screws right here on top. You just take those out and you're gonna pull this unit back towards you and the pins will just release. And then for the most part, you're gonna look for all the screws, the wires, and it was really straightforward, but everything was pretty clear. And then the old unit comes out. Now there's a yellowish color cord there in the back. This one here, that's for your XM radio. You're not going to plug this into the new unit. You don't need to use that, so you can just push that back. But everything else really just clicked and plugged into place. Now I did have to run another wire because I used that external mic, but then when you're done, just push this back and everything will clip and you are good to go, and put those two screws in up top. And now after I connected everything, I did try out the screen to make sure it turned on before reinstalling it. But once I was done, pushed it back, clipped it into place, put those two screws in, and you'll see the screen and the unit is working just like it should.
I think this unit is pretty quick as well. They do have a few options as far as how much memory is built into it. I don't think there's a way to upgrade the memory once you have the unit, but this one has been working great. They have tons of built-in features and themes that I'm really loving. It also includes a GPS antenna, which is installed behind here, and it has double-sided tape, and I just have it back there. It's relatively thin, this unit too, so you got a lot of room to play with back there. You have additional wires, so if you have other video hookups or hookups for amplifiers, you have all those options back there, really easy to work with. You can see the screen size here, really nice. And then we have our radio option, so if we want to pick up radio, the antenna plugs in. We can see the miles per hour. It takes about a minute or so once you get going to find a satellite, but once it does, then you're up and you're right on. Built-in Bluetooth. Here's the microphone. So a lot of people that have units from either this brand or other brands will say that sometimes they sound tinny, or it's just not really a great microphone. And because it's right next to the vent, a lot of times the air blows past it, and that could be the cause of the issue. And some people mention maybe you should have the three slit type microphone, but you do have an option for this external microphone. They include, I slid it into either the rail on the side here, or you can also clip it on the visor. So I just left a little bit extra wire. It was pretty easy to run this down the channel underneath and then up through there. Really not that bad. This is with the air conditioning on full blast for the most part, with both microphones open. Now here, if I go check this out, we can see all of our settings. You can connect it to Wi-Fi. You have your accounts. So if you want to do stuff like you would normally do with Android, you can do that. And then we have our car settings. So car settings, they give you options to edit tons of features here. Everything from general setup, display, sound, factory, all these different options here. Whether you want the media to stay on when you're using navigation or reversing, you can get into factory settings. You'll have to check to see what your factory code is. For me, it's that code right there. And then you have even more settings that you can go into just depending on what you want to do. Now, most of these I did not have to change, but there are a lot of things, so you can really customize it. And for me, everything worked right out of the box. Now, the instructions were a little questionable here and there, but for the most part, there was only a few connectors. Plugged it in, put it all back together. The steering wheel controls all worked for me, no problems. And everything on the dash, all my air conditioning controls, they all continue to work. And actually they display now on the screen. While I can't control it because they're a manual air conditioning, everything has worked really great. From my perspective, this is a 2018 Ram 1500 crew cab that when I plugged it in, it worked. Everything worked fine. Did not have to change any settings. It was really, really impressive. And I'm like, this is really cool. Now it uses the built-in backup camera, which is awesome. I didn't have to run another cable or anything like that. But because it's a bigger screen, this camera, I don't think it's a HD camera, so it looks a little, I wouldn't say grainy, but it looks like it's taking a SD video quality stream and updating it to a larger screen. So it works great, and your lines are there, everything like that, and you can control it. So overall, I'm very happy with it. And I did look to see, hey, can I replace the one that's in the tailgate with an HD camera and just wire it back into the harness? Doesn't seem like you can do that. If that is an option out there, that would be great. But ultimately, this unit for me, not only was it easy to install, the biggest thing about this is the size of it, but the overall safety features now that this has added to my truck that I did not have before. So if I have text messages coming in, if I want to talk to Siri or talk to Waze or any of those type of programs, I could do it through CarPlay and I can do it through Android Auto without having to touch anything, and it works flawlessly. Also, all the USB ports continue to work, including the USB data port that I have. So when I ran the update, I could do it that way. I can also plug in from a phone or a USB drive if I want to play. I personally am really just blown away by not only the quality, but the ease of install and just the ability to have all these features and more that you would get from a standard radio, meaning that I could download Android or Google apps. Everything just works so great, and I'm really loving this. And if you're looking for a way to easily and affordably update your radio in your Ram, or AWESafe provides options for a lot of different vehicles, then I would recommend checking this out, because at least for this install, it was super simple and really easy to do with a great result. I'm really loving this AWESafe Android head unit, and I think you will too.